I'll just save you the trouble if you're hyping up the question, because the answer is no, it doesn't. Metal Gear Online's third incarnation is strong enough to keep MGS5 right where it is, if I have to be brutally honest. It's got a hell of a lot of flaws, some of which have disappeared after launch day, mind you. Launch day was just a disaster for me. I could not get into any game without either my connection failing or the host's connection failing. Luckily today those issues don't seem to be all that generic, so I won't hold that against MGO, at least as a deciding factor. I personally did not like how MGO was gender biased at the beginning, because you create that avatar at the beginning of MGS5 that we all knew was for Metal Gear Online. But I was hoping for that freedom to change a few things up, such as my gender. Don't look at me like that. I like women in video games. I just do. I played as a woman in Bloodborne. I played as a woman in the previous Metal Gear Online. I play as a woman whenever I can because I just like strong women in video games. I just do. I had to wait until I leveled my guy up to level 6 to unlock an extra character slot, which I personally just found weird. MGO also has two sets of currencies. You have your mother base coins and you have your gear points. Gear points are essentially the default currency for purchasing gear with points you obtain from combat, whereas mother base coins, which you earn in every game mode in the game, unlocks mainly camouflage colors for your gear. But since mother base coins are also chained to microtransactions, it sort of destroys the purpose of them being involved in Metal Gear Online period. And there are only a few maps, which makes the surroundings too familiar far too fast here, if you intend on playing nothing but Cloak and Dagger, that is. And there are only 3 game modes: Bounty Hunter, which is Deathmatch, Cloak and Dagger, Team Sneak, and Com Control, which is base mission equivalent. Now I'm sure DLC packs will compensate for the maps and the few game modes we have here right now, and I like that we have unique characters already, because we had to wait nearly half a year with MGO2 for that. With what very few maps there is a vast improvement in how other players play MGO because of the vast openness. You rarely see anyone camping, ever. Makes for good use with full-on teamwork as well, but for those wanting to rambo everything, I'm sorry, but there's really no game mode that caters to you here. Everything here is essentially team-based. The most frustrating part of these maps are all the invisible walls, and they are in the most strangest of places. I mean, couldn't we have just put an actual wall to block off these sections of the map like you did in MGO2? Has technology really declined in video games this much? And veteran MGO2 players like me will be sad to see that codec inputs are extremely limited. What is already there. You cannot customize your codec inputs at all, and the legendary codec input that put the question mark over your head, gone. Metal Gear Online 3 does imbue better competitive gameplay in modes such as Cloak and Dagger, which was designated as Team Sneak in MGO2, which was my favorite game mode. The objective is to steal a target and bring it back to your side. The problem in MGO2 was once you picked the target up, the enemy was able to track the target on their minimap. This gave them an unfair advantage in ambushing your side. Here, the target cannot be tracked, so you're able to take your time and plan out a safe route to your side. This is one of the changes that I welcome with Open Arms. And you can also Fulton enemies after stunning them, which really comes in handy in Bounty Hunter deathmatches, because when an enemy is Fultoned, it decreases the opposing team's score and gives it to your team. So really, the Fulton is there for your losing team to make a comeback of the sorts. Unfortunately, the maps like the main game tend to have a shitload of texture pop-in. I am not exaggerating, it's a shitload. And for Cloak and Dagger lovers, this does actually count as a disadvantage when you're looking for the attacking team that is equipped with stealth camo. MGO3 is fun. Even though I have encountered my first lag switcher, not to mention Konami has failed to give me my collector's edition items, There's some improvements, but there's too much room for more improvement for me to label this feature as MGS5's justification into an A+ category title, sadly. With the amount of things that could have and should have been done here to make MGO3 great at launch, I'm afraid it leaves Metal Gear Solid 5 with its current A rating. Its flaws are not enough to bring it down, but its benefits are not enough to bring it up either. It is definitely worth your time, but honestly, I'd wait for the first expansion to see if any game modes will be added. Until then, play fearlessly but fair.